So quick intro to this video. This is the last part of the three-part series of when we spent time with Patera Appalachian Homestead in Eastern Tennessee and North Carolina. So this is the end of the three-part series, and I think it's probably the best part, and I hope that you watch this because we really need to keep these people in prayer. The worst is probably yet to come now with the storm that hit the southeast. People are now in recovery mode after they've lost houses, cars, family members, businesses, entire cities have been just crumbled. So they're now going to have to deal with insurance companies, the rebuilding. Some people now are homeless, have nowhere to go. They've been completely wiped out, unemployed, and again, businesses completely decimated. So people now probably are thinking about how they're going to survive, what are they going to do, where are they going to do, what's the future hold for them. And we asked Patera some really interesting questions, and I want all of you to pay attention to this, comment down below on any of this stuff. But we asked her a lot of questions, and I think it's really important because we need to be preparing for anything, mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. This is not a one-dimensional game. This is a multi-dimensional game. You must be preparing for anything. We are in 2024. I pray to God we make it to 2025, which I believe we will. But we are going to witness some incredible events. We are going to see a reckoning in America, spiritually, financially. I don't have a crystal ball, but I think most of you feel the same way I do. You have a gut that's just telling you that we're going to see some historic biblical events. And what we saw in the Southeast was historic and no doubt biblical. So please stay tuned. Watch the remainder of this video. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. It is just unbelievable what happened to these people, and now what do they do? What do they do? Stay tuned.
So I knew railroad, I guess the rail or whatever, is super heavy, so I just Googled it, and it's an average of 75 pounds to 155 pounds per foot. So you have, I mean, hundreds of thousands of pounds on this rail.
Multi-millions of dollars a track right here alone. And whatever's across the other side of the river is literally, it looks like splinters, whatever that is.
So, well, I guess the rail used to come straight down.
Yeah, it just got picked up, moved over.
Yeah, I mean, that's thousands of tons. Wow.
So we're wrapping it up here in North Carolina. And I want to thank Patera Appalachian Homestead. Make sure you check out her channel. Most of you already do. If you haven't, make sure you get over there. But I want to thank Patera from the bottom of my heart for taking the time, the day with us. And I want to give her just the utmost respect. She is walking the walk. There's so many people out there on social media who are fake, wannabes, pretenders. They like to sell the fear, sell a bunch of crap, and they're as fake as a $3 bill. This woman right here is real, and that's why we drove literally, I don't know, 800 miles to come up and say hi to her, shake her hand, and thank her for helping fellow Americans. I watched the videos, and because of people like you save lives. And it's the one positive we get out of all this, that there's still good people like you, Americans who care, patriots. And look, until you put skin in the game, you just talk. And so this is a lady, I don't know, what are you, 5'2", 5'3"?
5'4".
5'4", walking the walk and doing a lot more than most people. And I wish, if we were closer, we probably would have been doing a lot more. But we want to get out here and show everybody what's happening, assist a little bit, make a donation. We're going to put links down below, but we just want to shed some light on what's going on here and why people weren't getting the help, while millions of other people from all over the world are getting help, but the good Americans right here aren't. But Aaron, I want to start with you. Any quick questions as we wrap it up?
Okay, yes. So we've got some questions for you. We're gonna, hopefully you're ready for this. We're gonna hold your feet to the fire.
Okay.
But for people that are just getting into the game, what are maybe top 3-5 preps that you would recommend that someone needs to do if they're just waking up like, oh my gosh, I need to prepare. Maybe this woke someone up. Where do you need to start? Top 3-5 preps. What do you think is most important?
Number 1, self-defense. If you can't defend
Could you
what
say
you
that
have,
louder?
Self-defense.
Thank you.
If you can't defend your water, if you can't defend your beanie weenies, if you can't defend your insulin or anything that you may have, What's the good of it having anything else?
Right.
So I can tell you from personal perspective, folks that have been here, be peaceful, be praying, but be able to always be able to defend yourself.
Right.
Obviously, water, any type of, you have to have water or any, we were talking about this earlier, even if you just have Gatorade stored in the back closet, at least it would be something to drink to get you through at least, hopefully, I'm trying to prepare people to be 30 days out. I always talk about 2 years, but in this type of event, 30 days is a good goal. I always talk about canned foods. And the reason I do that, whether they canned it or whether they bought it from Food Line, there's water in that. There's water, there's nutrition, there is salt, there is sodium, there's something in there to sustain you. And then you also have to consider the environment that you're in. I mean, when it's 27 degrees, how are you going to, how will you handle that, basically?
Now, I've watched a video where you don't just practice with the tools, the pew-pews, but also self-defense, like Krav Maga.
Krav Maga,
Yep.
yes.
So you do that?
Black belt.
Very important. Black belt. Incredible. How important is that? Because a lot of people, I'll just pull out a tool, the pew-pew, that's okay. But you are working hand-to-hand combat, and that is especially important for a woman. I think it's important for everybody, for everybody's kids. Can you just elaborate for a second on that?
Well, in terms of Krav Maga or mixed martial arts, from a woman's perspective, had I not done that, I would have never understood, number one, body to body, meaning I can't defend myself most likely against somebody like you. So what it does is it brings a situational awareness about in terms of what can I actually do, what can somebody do to me, and it puts you on complete notice all the time, the importance of self-defense, not just noticing whether you have a pew-pew or you may not have access to a pew-pew.
Well, you may have to fight to get to the pew-pew.
Right. So what are you going to use around you or on you other than that in order to get to the next level of defense? Get away is the goal.
Big point. Enrique.
Yes. So also, there's a lot of people here in the U.S. that are not as fortunate as some of the people here in these rural areas to be able to have a large piece of land, to be able to grow their own fruits and vegetables and, have their own chickens and to be able to provide, for themselves. What do you recommend to those people that live in the city that obviously do not have that? Do you have any recommendations for them as to how to prep or where to start?
Well, this goes back to, if you're not able to sustain yourself at this time due to living in a condo, an apartment, in town, or whatever, it goes back to falling back on the basics of canned goods, canned meats, water. I mean, you're not going to be living, high, as we say, high off the hog. It's about sustaining through a crisis. So I always tell everybody, even if you live in the rural communities, even if you do farm, even if you have chickens and goats and whatnot like me, you better have backups for backups on backups because you're never guaranteed the next harvest. And that's what our grandparents understood. They took and did whatever they could, no matter what it took, to have that sustainability.
So, and to kind of bounce off of that, what you were talking about, today's people, I feel, are so weak. We don't know how to grow our own food. We don't know how to, some people don't even know how to cook. And so how important it is your circle, who's in your circle, your friends, your family, like how important is that? And, do you vet these people? How do you vet these people? Like
Your circle is life or death. I'm just going to put it blunt. It truly is life or death. Do you trust them? Are they loyal? Do they have skills to also put forth within the circle? Not everybody can do everything. So if you have a trusted circle, even if it's just less than 5, somebody can do this, somebody can do that, you're going to be able to sustain a whole lot better. But the first thing that is always, you got to make sure that they're loyal. Loyalty is everything.
It's a great question. We hear a lot about people that go, "Oh, I'm going to come to your house. You have the security, you have the food. I'm just going to come to your house." What do you say to people that use that as an excuse or an answer?
Don't.
Easy enough.
Don't.
All right, Enrique.
Yes. So right now, obviously, we've talked about self-defense. We've talked about a little bit of prepping. But I would also like to get your opinion now about gold and silver and cash, fiat, currency, Bitcoin, all of that.
That's a great question because we saw that nobody was taking credit cards, ATMs down, debit cards down. It only was cash. Cash seemed to be king. If you could buy something, it was cash.
Yes. Well, that was the situation here for a lot of people.
Right.
We even experienced some of that into Tennessee. As far as gold and silver, I tell people to do what they can, how they can with that, the best of their ability. Silver, junk silver at a minimum is probably smart to have as a prep because I will come to your defense on this. Yeah, I will definitely work with somebody if I can check gold and silver with them and they need to barter chicken
So
egg. If
that's
they
it.
need to barter,
That-
I would do that.
So
yeah.
we always have people that say, well, you can't, what are you going to do with your gold and silver? You know, if the whole grid goes down, you can't eat your gold or silver. But they can come to somebody like you with a ranch that says, hey, I'll sell you some meat, or
Right.
some dairy, some
Show me
eggs.
what you got.
What you got?
And I'll check it out.
There you
Right.
go. So that ends that.
Yeah.
Aaron.
So the last thing, what what are you preparing for? Like, what do you think is coming? So, like, I think it's going to be a financial collapse, and then just everything that comes from that. So that's why I'm preparing. So, what do you see coming in the next 6 months, year?
Well, timing, we always never know. We just know it's coming at some point. I think that you're watching the fiber of this country be attacked from within. I think that it's important for people to understand that again, their self-sustainability. But I ultimately think that, and I've said this many times to go back to what you said, I think the ultimate toothpick or Jenga piece is the economy.
Yes.
That's where they have all of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I will end my video before we go over to Aaron, Texas Silver. Make sure you check him out. Appalachia's Homestead. Make sure you check out Patera. I will end with this. I believe right now we are witnessing spiritual warfare unlike any time we have ever seen it. I'm not an angel. I'm not perfect. But what we are witnessing is opening my eyes. I hope it's opening your eyes. You know, a lot of people, Patera, say this: I'm just going to leave it in God's hands. And my boxing coach said, well, when the Israelites had to fight, was it the Philistines and Goliath? God didn't come out of the clouds and just save the Israelites.
Right.
David stepped up.
Mhm.
He slew the giant.
Mhm.
And he used David. So David had to fight a giant. Noah had to build an ark, which took 99 years. God didn't just say, I'm going to flood the earth. I'm going to come down, save you and your family, and pull you up into the clouds. God puts it in your hands. He gives you free will. He allows you to think. You have a spirit. You have a brain. I think we better start using it, because these people who think that God's just going to come and save you, and it's going to be, you know, puffy white clouds, teddy bears, and rainbows, you better take a look around and watch this video today, because this ain't rainbows and sunshine, ladies and gentlemen. People are being tested.
Yes.
And your belief and your faith is about to be tested. This, to me, is almost an omen of things that are going to come to America if we do not wake up really quick and get right. And you better be prepared, because I think we're in for a very, very bumpy time. And I'm going to let you close it.
Oh, well, no, there's no doubt. I mean, look at Joseph. I mean, I think we have a responsibility to trust God, obviously, but I think we have a self-responsibility to take care of ourselves, our family, and fellow man. And part of that is preparedness, because you cannot predict the future. So therefore, you just can't close it out.
God bless us with a great country.
Yes.
Let's not let it fail. God bless. Take care. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for all the great comments. We'll put the links down below as soon as we get them. Oh, also, really quick, the animals out here. You know I love dogs, I love cats, I love animals. There will be a link down below for who are we helping?
Well, we're looking at helping out the Humane Society in Cott County. That's a good one.
And please explain. A lot of these people lost their animals.
Well, what you have now are displaced animals, whereas, you know, you don't know who they belonged to. So Cott County specifically is dealing with that. Irwin completely lost its Humane Society, so they have a GoFundMe, so we'll get that one up as well for you. We'll get it to you.
God bless.